Hi all, my name's George and I've been asked to do a video on cerebral palsy, my goals, and challenges that I face on a daily basis. At first I was very reluctant to do this video. I don't consider myself a good public speaker, whether it's in front of a camera or a crowd of people. It gives me a lot of anxiety, but through messages I've received on social media, and a lot of people requesting this video and encouraging me to do so, I decided it would definitely be a good idea and a good way to kind of push me out of my comfort zone even further. So I really do appreciate all the positive feedback on that. I'd also like to apologize for the audio quality on this video. I know it's not the best. I do all my filming from a cell phone. I don't have like a video camera or anything like that. Just a cell phone and a tripod. So if you're having trouble hearing me, please either put a comment below or send me a message and I'll be happy to answer any and all questions that you have. Also, I'm gonna try to do this video unedited. I want to do very little editing. I just kind of feel like a video like this should be from the heart and not pieced together. So if I kind of ramble a little bit or stutter, I do apologize. I do have a little phone here with me that's got some notes on it, so you might see me looking at that from time to time. I just kind of want to make sure I cover everything. And again, I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video and all of the feedback that I've gotten as well. I guess the first place we should start is, what is cerebral palsy? That's a question that I get all of the time, and not a lot of people really understand. And what cerebral palsy is it's basically brain damage. It's brain damage before or during the birthing process. So you can have a wide variety of different severities when it comes to CP. You can have different effects, like you have some people that have trouble using their legs or trouble using their arms, or both. You have people that have issues with speaking. You have people that have a wide variety of different symptoms, so to speak. For me, my cerebral palsy happened before I was born. Basically, there was a blockage which caused my blood pressure to get so high that I ended up having a stroke. And the doctors didn't believe I was going to make it through the birthing process. And when I was born, I was actually in the hospital for 6 to 7 months afterwards, because of everything that was going on. With cerebral palsy, like I said, you have different levels of severities and things like that. For me, mine affects my whole right half, so my right leg, my right arm. You can also have different things like learning disabilities, which I do have. My main struggles are reading and writing, and comprehension as well. You can also have other underlying medical issues. A lot of people that I talk to have CP also have other things that are wrong with them. For me, I have calcium and vitamin D deficiency, so I'm on medication for that, and my bones are constantly monitored to make sure that they're strong and healthy. And then I'm also monitored for kidney stones because that's the side effect of the medication that I'm on. I also have a curvature of my spine, which causes a lot of neck pain and stiffness and can cause headaches. And if I were to actually stand straight, it would kind of look like I'm slouching a bit, or like one shoulder is lower than the other, and that's from my curvature of my spine. Then I also, on my left side, on my left foot, I have what's called a tarsal coalition. And a tarsal coalition is basically where the bones in the foot did not develop correctly. And it can cause a lot of pain, and it can also cause lack of mobility in the left foot and flexibility. Believe it or not, I actually have more flexibility in my right foot than I do in my left foot. I just can't really use the flexibility in my right foot because I don't really have control. So, but you can really notice it if you were to like take my foot and just kind of manually move it around. You would see that my right foot actually has way more flexibility than my left foot does. There is surgery that can fix the tarsal coalition. And basically what they do is they go in and they break the foot and then they fuse the bones together. And what the surgery does really is it really just relieves the pain that the tarsal coalition causes, but it actually takes even more of the mobility and flexibility away. So for me, the surgery, the fusion surgery wasn't really a good option because of how active I am, whether it's BMX or running. So I chose, and having conversations with my doctor and things like that, I chose not to have the surgery and just deal with the pain. I didn't want to have the surgery because I didn't want to lose the flexibility that I did have in my left foot. For me, like I said, my cerebral palsy affects the right side, and in learning to ride a bike, one of the first challenges that I faced was just getting the pedaling down. I would pedal with my left, and my right foot wasn't strong enough to stay on the pedal. It would just kind of like pop off. But I was a very determined kid. I've always been an active child and an active person. So doing things that other kids did, ride a bike, running, whatever, I wanted to do those things too. So I never let myself give up. And I actually learned on a tricycle, had a little tricycle when I was younger, and eventually I just, I got the foot motion down and was able to keep my right foot on the pedal. And then my parents gave me, I think it was a 16 or 18 inch, it was a girl's bike, it was my sister's old bike, and they put training wheels on it when they got her a new one. And I learned to ride that and learned to ride it well. And then of course, the time came, I wanted to take the training wheels off. I wanted to be like everyone else. And my dad took the training wheels off, and I rode bikes and things like that a lot. So I was always an active kid outside. My dad took the training wheels off, and as soon as he took the training wheels off, I just kind of took off and never looked back. I literally took off first try. The first time I can ever remember getting something first try, so that's always kind of stuck with me. And then of course I started jumping off curbs and doing little like 180 skids and things like that. Didn't really know what BMX was, but I just loved riding a bike and being a normal kid. It made me feel like a normal kid. Then we ended up, my dad was in the military, so we ended up moving away and moving to California. And everybody there skateboarded. Skateboarding was the sport at the time. Everybody did that. And all my friends did it. And my friend actually gave me one of his boards. So I started skateboarding a little bit and then ended up getting a board of my own. Skateboarding I was not very good at, and it wasn't really something that I enjoyed or was passionate about. But one day when we were out skateboarding, I saw these kids on BMX bikes doing grinds and jumping off stuff, and they just looked like they were having so much fun, and it kind of reminded me of all the things I used to do when I was, when I was younger. And I was like, man, that's something I really, really want to do. And I started saving up just a little tiny weekly allowance that I got. And we ended up moving away from California because my dad got transferred again. And we ended up moving to Virginia, where I'm at now. And I ended up saving up, and I think I had like $115. It took me quite a while to save up that money, and I ended up going to Walmart and just buying like a cheap BMX bike just because I wanted to get started. And I knew I knew the quality of those bikes. Like I knew they weren't anything good, but I wanted to get started because I knew it was going to be a very long process for me to get to where I wanted to be and start doing the tricks and things like that that I wanted to do. So I bought that bike, and it was okay. Definitely wasn't great. I did make some modifications to it. I bought stronger bars, stronger pegs, and things like that over time as stuff started to break on the Walmart bike. And then eventually my parents, it was either my birthday or Christmas, they actually bought me a real BMX bike. And honestly, I've never really looked back after that. I've always rode BMX. Honestly, I feel like I've been in BMX my entire life before I even really knew what the sport was. I've always been passionate about bikes ever since I was a real little kid. One of the biggest challenges I face, other than the obvious, like with the hand and with the foot and things like that, the biggest challenge I face is stiffness. Not only stiffness from the CP, but I've got the stiffness, in my neck. I get headaches from my curved spine. I also have the tarsal coalition in my left foot, which, like I talked about, kind of causes a lot of pain. So for me, it's really just getting to the point where I feel warm enough to do things I want to do. A lot of times it takes me anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half to just kind of get warmed up and feel comfortable riding my bike to the point where I can, jump hips and do all the things that I like to do. When I first get on my bike, like let's say I go to the park or go ride a street spot or whatever, when I first get on my bike, I actually feel extremely uncomfortable. It almost feels like I've never ridden a bike before. It's just because my body is so stiff. I've actually tried a lot of different things, a lot of different ways to try to make myself more comfortable. And really, I've tried, stretching, all sorts of things. Really, the one thing that really does help me is just kind of getting on the bike and pedaling around for that hour and a half. So when I go ride my bike, I plan on staying at the park or wherever I'm at for as long as I possibly can, because I know it's going to take me a lot of time to get warmed up. One of the things that really does help with the stiffness is taking a really, really hot shower, because it gets my body up to temperature. The problem is when when you're traveling, for example, going 20 minutes down the road to the skate park, my body tightens up again. The car rides are brutal. Sometimes I'll get to the skate park or wherever I'm going, and I felt great leaving, but after that car ride, I feel miserable. So that's a challenge that I face that's really not talked about a lot when it comes to CP, is just the stiffness. CP just makes your body extremely tight. Everyone who has CP has that problem, at least that I've talked to and communicated with. Not one person has ever said that they don't deal with body pain. And like myself, who have other medical issues along with CP, it can be a real challenge. Riding my bike, however, it helps. It really does. Once I get to the point where I'm loosened up and I'm feeling pretty good, I just feel like a normal person, and it really pushes me and challenges me. I'm doing things that people told me that I would never be able to do. So BMX is a passion of mine. It has helped me in so many ways, not only physically, but with confidence as well. Um, when I first started riding, I absolutely refused to film myself. I wouldn't let anyone do any filming. I just wanted to ride. Um, I honestly was very embarrassed of my riding. Lindsay, who is my girlfriend, actually really hasn't even been a year, because I haven't had Instagram that long. She was the one that actually encouraged me to start filming myself and get an Instagram, along with a few other people. But she was really the main driving factor. She kept telling me, she's like, you need to get your story out there. I feel like it would inspire so many people, and I was very against it. I was like, no. I was like, every time, people just kind of make fun of me and laugh at me. That's what I was used to experiencing. But she kept, talking to me, and she challenged me to put out a YouTube video, and to start an Instagram and things like that. And she convinced me to do it, so I finally did it, and it's really helped motivate me to get better, and it's helped my confidence. I'm more confident in myself, and I've had so many people reach out to me and ask me questions, and they tell me their story, and we just kind of chat, and it's been a great way for me to connect to people. So it's really been awesome, and I'm really thankful for that. It's been a journey for sure, and one that I'm very happy to be on. I'm very thankful for all the support that I've received, all the the messages and things like that. I try to get back to everyone that messages me. It truly means the world to me. I'm not, like I said, I'm not used to positive messages coming back to me. I struggled with bullying and things like that a lot growing up, and that's one of the reasons why I'm glad that Lindsay pushed me to do this, because it helps spread awareness, and really that's my primary goal with BMX, is to really just have fun, to use something that I enjoy to help spread awareness. I also have other goals as well. One of the big ones that I'm working toward right now is my first contest. I really want to do a contest. I really want to push myself in that way. And a contest to me poses a lot of different challenges. Not only is it riding live in front of people, you have a lot of eyes on you, and things like that, like I've said before, make me nervous. But it's also going to be dealing with the stiffness. Because once I get loose and I'm feeling good and I'm riding my bike, the problem is if I stop for even 5 minutes, my body starts getting stiff again. So for me, it's going to pose the challenge of, can I keep my body warm enough to ride the way that I want to ride? So that's one of the big reasons why I really want to do a contest. I also, have other goals as well, trick related. I really want to film a professional video part one day. And by that I mean like work with someone who is a professional filmer. I want to be able to travel and hit different spots and put together a video that will show my riding in the best possible light. It's something that I've always dreamed of doing, um, but right now it's the contest and just working on getting better. Those are my primary goals right now. The other thing that I'm looking to do is I've never ridden BMX outside of Virginia. I've never had the opportunity to travel, so I'm actually currently saving for a trip down to Florida. I know some people down there that I consider family, that I really want to meet and ride with, and I just want to experience BMX outside of Virginia. So I have a lot of different things that I'm working on. So this journey has definitely been a blessing to me, and I never thought in a million years I would be doing a video, discussing cerebral palsy and the things that I go through. It's just absolutely insane to me. And I really appreciate everyone's support and things that they have shown me. One of the questions that I get asked a lot is, does cerebral palsy get worse? And I even hear in the cerebral palsy community people asking that same question. And cerebral palsy doesn't really get worse, but it feels like it does. And what I mean by that is, even for a normal person, when your body ages, you start to feel pains, your knees hurt, different things. And for someone with cerebral palsy, that is a big concern. It's almost like your body ages a little quicker, I should say, because your muscles are already tight. So the pain does feel like it gets worse and worse. I have been fortunate enough to where I don't really feel that like a lot of other people do. And I think that's because I stay so active, and riding my bike and things like that. Because a lot of the people that I talk to, they kind of use their cerebral palsy as an excuse to not do certain things, whereas I've used my cerebral palsy to motivate me. You tell me I can't do these things, I want to go do them, and I use it to motivate me. So, I have my good days and I have my bad days. What motivates me when I'm having a really bad day is just my goals that I want to achieve. If I use a bad day, oh man, I'm really hurting today, I probably shouldn't go ride my bike, then I'm just going to constantly make that excuse to not do the things that I want to do. And I have goals that I want to reach, like a contest. I want to travel. I am extremely passionate about BMX. BMX is truthfully what kind of gets me up in the morning, even when I'm feeling bad. I just absolutely love riding my bike. I love pushing myself. I enjoy doing things that people told me that I'm never going to achieve. And I really like to be able to motivate others that don't believe they can do it, whether they have a disability or not. I mean, I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, I can't believe you're doing these things. I would never think in a million years to even give them a try. And you've motivated me to try these things. And that means a lot to me. Because to me, I'm just doing what I love doing. And that's ride my BMX bike and have fun and be with friends and just the whole experience, I just want to live my life and be normal. And it can be very challenging because each day is a little bit different. Some days I wake up and I feel absolutely amazing. Other days I wake up and I feel like I'm 95 years old and can barely get out of bed. It can be really challenging to continue going on the bad days when I feel like I do, but I know that if I don't, I won't reach my goals. So regardless of how I'm feeling, I try to get up each day, stretch, take care of my adult responsibilities, whatever they may be for the day, and then I try and I go out and I get on my bike. I pretty much ride every single day, whether it's just bunny hopping a few curbs, riding in the parking lot, or going to a skate park, hanging out with people that I know. I try to ride my bike every single day. Every once in a while, on days that I'm hurting really bad, I'll take a day or two off, but usually somebody has to tell me to. Like Lindsay, she's like, hey, you've ridden a ton lately, you're hurting really bad, you need to take a day off. That's what I'm very bad at. I pretty much make somebody tell me that I can't ride my bike today. That's how much I love it. And I also know that when you let excuses like that in, oh, I'm hurting really bad, I shouldn't go do this today, you're just going to kind of keep making that excuse for yourself. So even if you're having a bad day, get out and do whatever you want to do. You don't have to be at your best every single day. Sometimes I just go and I just flow around the bowl and I don't really do any tricks, but I make sure that I get out there. And it's funny too, because sometimes I go to the park and I feel like crap, but I end up having the best days. And sometimes I, learn a new line or a new trick when I feel like crap. And then other days I get to the park, I feel great, but I ride horribly. So for me, I've just kind of learned, don't make an excuse. Just focus on your goals and do what you have to do. But most importantly, have fun. And I think that's why it's easy for me, is because I always have fun riding my bike. I can be riding a parking block in a parking lot and I can ride it for hours. I just have fun riding bikes. Always have. I'm just very passionate about the sport and things like that. And again, I just kind of want to say thank you. I know I kind of rambled a little bit, but I think I covered everything. If you guys have any questions, please drop a comment below, send me a message. I'm happy to answer any and all questions. I can even do another video if I get a lot of the same questions. And thank you for watching, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.